Hey, so today I'm thinking I need to feed my starter dough. So I thought I'd try and make something sweet with it, and I thought I'd try and do Chelsea buns. So I'm going to try and do, which I've done before, but never with sourdough. So I'm going to try using my starter to make Chelsea buns sourdough style. So we'll give that a go. I've got 400 grams of white flour, 2 teaspoons of sugar into the mix. Zest of 1 lemon. 1 lemon zested. I'm going to do 1 teaspoon of mixed spice, which is I think cinnamon, cardamom, nutmeg. Can't remember what else, but yeah, it's a blend of a known blend of spice. So 1 teaspoon of that, and then 1 teaspoon of salt. So that's my dry ingredients all in there. In this pan, I'm heating 220 mils of milk with 60 grams of butter, and I'm just going to gently heat it to melt all the butter into the milk. I've just poured my milk and butter mixture in with my dry ingredients. I'm just going to mix it up, and then I'm going to leave it for about an hour while I go on a run. Right, so I've been for my run and I've rested my dough, which is a bit dry, but I need to add my starter dough and an egg. I should have added the egg earlier, but I didn't have any, and the shops turned up, so we'll work it out. I'm thinking what I'll do is whisk up the egg, because this is quite loose. Try and mix it into my starter a bit, see if this works. And then just knead that all in to here. It's 120 grams of starter at 100% hydration, in case you want to do it. I have to somehow knead this in. Oh God, this is super mushy. Let's see what happens with this. Not the best way. It smells good, very cinnamony. Okay, so this is my dough that I'm going to cover. It's a bit of a mess at the moment. Smells good. I don't know whether it's going to work or not, but one thing I've learned with sourdough is you just have to give it a lot of time and see what happens. So I could waste a whole day plus and have nothing to show for it, or something really shit. Or we could end up with some delicious Chelsea buns. So it's a bit of a learning process, but I'll bring you guys along for the journey. And if it's really terrible, I just will never show you this video. So we'll see. I'm making a bit of a decision here to knead this dough, which I think usually with sourdough, it calls for stretching and folding it over every hour. But I'm going to do like as if it's yeast and knead it on the worktop. So I'm going to flour it quite heavily because the bread is pretty sticky, and I'm going to add enough flour to make it. That's probably about right actually. I could probably knead that as it is, but I think if I knead it I can stretch the glutens out and then leave it to prove, and I think that might rescue what otherwise might be a little bit disastrous. So we'll see what happens. That's good. So I've just kneaded this for a while. Obviously with sourdough you don't have to work it quite as hard because it's such a slow proving process that it kind of stretches the glutens over a number of hours. But it's nice and smooth, and like I said in a previous video, smooth, and if you push it, it's got a little bit of a spring to it. So it springs back out, which is a good sign. So we're going to put it back in this bowl. Might oil that slightly. Back in the bowl, cover it, and leave it for maybe like 2 or 3 hours. However long it takes to sort of roughly double in size. So we'll see. Okay, it's 20 past 10 on a Friday night. Woo, we know how to live. And I'm a little bit drunk and a little bit high, and I've gone to get my bread out of the airing cupboard because I kind of forgot about it while I was chatting to my friends. And it's risen loads. Look at this huge air bubble. Woo. It's all warm and lovely. So I'm going to turn that out and roll it out flat, and then we'll go from there. Okay, I just started to roll this dough out. Smells really good, and it's feeling much better now. It's got all nice and soft and pillowy. So I think this actually might be all right now. Not really planned how I'm going to do this, but I've got the ingredients out or anything, but I'm going to roll that all out. Raisins. A few of them. And I've got some dried apricots. Chopped up dried apricots. I thought that'd be nice in there. Roll. You know this is going to be good. Oh my god, it's going to be immense. Right. So we get that. Okay, I've floured this guy up, floured that guy up. Half again thing. Half again, half again. Like that. Right. Right, cover that in the fridge overnight, bake it in the morning. A terrible thing has happened. I think if it's up to me, I sweep this up, put it in there. Never happened. Dishes, because this wouldn't fit in the fridge, and this might be quite cool because they're all gonna like expand into each other. It'll be like sort of tear off as and when you want one. So that might be quite cool. So we're gonna put it in there, and also look, don't need cling film. Lid, perfect in the fridge. Hey, it's the next day. I got these out the fridge. It's now gone 10 o'clock. I was up at 7:30. Weird, I know. Got up and got these out the fridge, and I've let them warm up and start to prove again. Looking really good. Like risen up a bit. I think they're going to bake nicely. So they should all, as they bake, they should start to just about start to push into each other a bit, and then I'll be able to sort of tear them apart as and when you want to eat one. I'll show you how it's done, but I'm thinking I'm going to cook it with the lid on to begin with to help develop steam, and then take it off halfway through. So I'm going to cook them in this. It's been just about being 20 minutes. I'm going to take the lid off and let them continue cooking. I think I'm going to continue at the same temperature and move them up so I can get my loaf in. Whoa, look at that, they're coming out nicely. So I'm going to make a sort of glaze to go on my buns, because they're not really very traditional anyway, so I'm going to make them a bit like cinnamon buns rather than what you would do with Chelsea buns. So I'm going to melt some butter and combine it with some icing sugar and milk and vanilla and make like a sort of sticky icing to go on top of them. So I'm going to do a half quantity. So I'm going to do 1 cup, I've got an American cup here, of icing sugar. I'm going to do two tablespoons of milk. 1, 2. I'm going to do 1 tablespoon of melted butter. Got a lot of melted butter there. And I've got this vanilla bean paste. Thought I'd try that rather than essence, so you get some of the seeds in it. I'm going to do about a teaspoon of that. just under like that. And I'm going to beat all that together. Here are my rolls. I put the lid back on because the raisins are beginning to burn a bit. But now I think they're cooked through. Look at that. I'm going to glaze them. I'm going to let them cool slightly and then pour over the glaze. Whoa. I've got loads, so it's going to be alright, guys. Okay, I've got my buns all turned out. They've chilled slightly. Well, they've been chilling for a few hours now. So I'm going to serve them up and see what they're like. So kind of loosely connected, so you can kind of just take them out like that. Good. This will go. Do you want the not big one?
Yeah.
I'm going to go smallish. Shall I take this one here?
Can I have the knife?
Okay. Cut this in half. See what it's like in the middle. There we go. Right. Really nice. Good blend of apricot and raisins. Nice little bit of spice. Vanilla-y top. Nice and unhealthy, but delicious.